Good evening, it's Rachel Flower here on Excluded UK Facebook page, bringing you Raw and Real, our series where we are bringing basically members out from within our group to share their very personal stories about how it feels to have been excluded from the government measures, how it's affected them personally. And today's actually a really special episode. Today in the UK, it is Armed Forces Day, and we actually have quite a lot of veterans within the excluded society, people that have served and represented the country. And I've got a very special lady, Cheryl Jones, here to tell her story today and also represent those veterans who are within the group, because not all of them have felt like they are able yet or feel strong enough to come and share their stories. They've been really badly hit by this situation. And I'm going to talk about the reasons why with Cheryl just in a moment. So first of all, welcome, Cheryl.
Oh, thank you, Rachel. Thank you. Thanks for letting me tell my story, and hopefully I can help quite a lot of people in the group just by sharing my story.
And we can see you are dressed in your regalia. Is that the right word? You were 22 years serving. And today, because it's Armed Forces Day, you would have been wearing that, right? Normally, anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've been left the army 10 years now, and obviously the British Legion is a very good support mechanism for the armed forces, and I've heavily got involved with them as being a poppy appeal organiser and stuff like that. So today would have been unbelievable, but obviously, like the VE75 day victory in Europe, that all got cancelled. This got cancelled as well. But I just think, I just wanted to wear this uniform today just to represent who I am, and for it to maybe give me a little bit of strength, because a lot of strength has been battered out of me.
Oh goodness, don't get me started before we've even got into it.
I know.
I've just been talking before we went live about your just amazing array of medals that you wear in there, and you were telling me about the different ways that you got them. And I know that you've served all over the world, in Iraq and Bosnia and Afghanistan and in Northern Ireland, and you're 22 years, that's incredible, representing our country. 10 years you've been out of the army, you said, and then you became self-employed, and you told me that a lot of veterans become self-employed when they leave the army.
Yeah, I think 22 years, you do become a bit institutionalized. You get told what to do all the time. So I think and getting into civistry, oh my goodness, civilians, it's hard. It just takes. I didn't think it'd be hard, because I was just I get on with stuff, but it's took quite a long time to actually get into civilian life. And now I am in civilian life. I've been here for 10 years. And I'm sure there's quite a lot of other military people that are on my wavelength and understand what I mean by, we don't want to be told what to do anymore. So, but yeah.
You became self-employed so that you could control your own destiny a little bit, but you set up a pet sitting business. Is that right?
Yeah, I did. I mean, 2008, there was quite a massive crash, if you remember that, the finances and everything. So I got out in just short of 2010. And I looked at what the prospects was out there, and it was still, I think, making a recovery. So I decided, right, okay, set up this pet business, pet sitting business. And it's pet sitting, it's dog walking, it's all sorts of things. And it took quite a while to get it going. But after 10 years, I've built up an unbelievable, the amount of clients I've got, and the doggies I get are so special, and it's just absolutely amazing. And we were just going to start the new summer, and 23rd of March, it came crashing down. Just all stopped.
And well, and of course, that type of business needed to be closed down, as did virtually all other businesses across the country.
Absolutely.
And I know that you were respectful of that, like so many of us were, and you did your duty, as you've done your duty many times over your life, and you stayed home. And you told me that you were really happy to hear the announcements about the self-employment scheme, because you'd been worrying about financially supporting yourself. And
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, on the 23rd, obviously, you know, it was told that, you know, lockdown was imminent. I thought, oh wow, I've never been locked down in Rotherham. It's just like being on tour in Afghanistan, in Iraq, you know. You don't get to see your family, friends. And I thought, well, I can deal with this. And then all of a sudden, this announcement came from Rishi Sunak, and he said, the self-employed are going to be looked after as well. And I thought, oh my goodness, that's absolutely amazing. And then in the meantime, I joined the Brinsworth Senior Support, helping our vulnerable in our area, the NHS responder. I put myself forward for that. I just, you know, the volunteering, I just threw myself into it, knowing that the doggies probably wouldn't be coming back for a little while. I didn't expect it to be 3 months, and it's probably going to be a lot longer. And I don't know whether it will come back, because obviously the holidays are disappearing very quickly. So I, you know, I help the community, and, you know, that's what I do best, I think.
So I think people watching this might be wondering, what's Cheryl doing on the show? Because they're thinking, well, you've been helped, right? That's the message coming out from the government. The self-employed people have been helped, and the scheme has been held up as being this amazing lifesaver. And indeed, it has helped a lot of people. But we estimate that, you know, several million people have actually been excluded from the scheme due to the rules. And the rule that you fell foul of, Cheryl, when you got excluded, was what we call the 50-50 rule. I think your situation is particularly is going to speak to people at home today. So you were excluded because of your army pension.
Absolutely. What they're saying is, I mean, obviously the computer said no when I put in for the claim, and I didn't understand why. I was like, oh, have I missed something? So I wrote to the HMRC and asked them for a review. I got a letter explaining that because I get a pension, it is slightly larger than my self-employment once they take off all the expenses that come with self-employed people, like your, you know, your petrol and things that you need for the business. And it was just short. So it was like 53, maybe 54% the pension, and the self-employment was 46%. So I just missed out. And they even put the figures in there, and I just absolutely, I was like, oh wow. So then I looked at what help I could get, and there was nothing. No universal credit because I've got savings. No job seekers allowance because I've got a pension. I've had absolutely no help whatsoever, and it absolutely devastated me. Absolutely devastated me. But obviously I gritted my teeth. I was like, it's okay. My family's helping me. My friends are helping me. And then I found this group. And honestly, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart, because you and the co-founder, all the other founders, all the people that are on this group give absolutely amazing feedback and, you know, support. And we just, oh, I'm sorry.
Guys, you don't make me cry. You're already
I'm sorry.
It's been a tough week for us all, hasn't it? No. It's been
the thing is, Rachel, I don't cry. I'm a tough army lass. You know, I did 22 years service. I loved my service. I loved my country. That's why I did it. And to be on this excluded just because I serve my country and I get a pension, it's not enough to live on. That's why I do the self-employment. I had to do that. I couldn't live on that. I had a mortgage. I had all the other things that goes with life. And coming out, obviously, I realised, oh my goodness, you know, I have to buy my own toilet rolls. I have to buy my own. And the army people will know that, because obviously we are looked after in the armed forces. And I mean, I'm not saying that the armed forces aren't getting looked after by other people, you know, the British Legion, the SAFA, there's so many out there that look after us. But the pension, again, if you've got a pension savings, no, it's just unbelievable. It's unbelievable. I just can't understand this rule, the 50% rule. I don't understand, because if I earn £20,000, I would get, as self-employed, I will get the help. If I earn more money than my pension, I will get help. I will get £7,500 to the max. But because I don't earn just that little percentage more, I get nothing. I feel let down.
Of course you do.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you must not apologise. And this is what we've been trying to get across to, sorry, I'm getting emotional now. We're trying to get across that people like you are excluded through no fault of your own. And that's now confirmed in the Treasury report. It's written down in black and white. The recommendation to the government is these people have fallen through the cracks through no fault of their own. And why I get emotional is when I listen to people like you, Cheryl, telling your story. And I know that you've ended up feeling shame and guilt, and you felt lonely, you felt isolated, you can't comprehend what's happened to you. And we tagged some of the other veterans as we were going to go live tonight, and Glenn Watson said I could quote from him, and his words were, I just didn't comprehend ever in my life that the government would turn their back on me after serving for the country. Never thought that I would be left out alone. And, you know, I think here on Armed Forces Day, it is an important point to bring home and really hammer home. None of the people who have been excluded deserve it. You know, everybody I've spoken to are UK taxpayers who've paid their way for many, many years. And due to the faults in the system, they're now left unsupported in their hour of need. But I just think for you, Cheryl, and people like you, it must hit so much harder.
You know, I mean, I didn't realise, I just thought it was the army pension. But now I'm in this group, I realise that other people, just through no fault of their own either. And I'm like, what is going on? You know, that man said he would help. He wouldn't let anybody down. And he has let all of us down. And I don't even know how I got the strength today. But because it's Armed Forces Day, I just put me clobber on, and I stand high. You know, I am a proud person, and I know all of you out there are absolutely proud. You know, I go down to the cenotaph in London and I hold my head up high, knowing that I was one of them people that have let the whole country still have their freedom. You know, being in Afghanistan and Iraq. In Iraq, I didn't even know whether I was coming home or not. I thought, you know, this is it. This is going to be an absolute nuclear biological warfare thing. But I did come home, you know, and I retired, and I'm living life. I'm loving life until the 23rd of March. And that's when my life just crumbled. And I just want to, I don't want to say that I'm now in that state, because it's only when I talk about it, but having the support from this group, I just want to get out there, guys. This group is unbelievable. It will give you so much, just, you know, just reading the stories. It makes yours look not so bad, you know. We've still got a house, we've still got food on the table. I just haven't got a job, and I've never been unemployed in my whole life. And I just don't understand what's happened. And you know, I know that I'm still helping the vulnerable in my area, and they know who they are. And you know, there was one of my doggies. I was speaking to him on the field, telling him what the government had done to me, because I was quite upset. And he went and bought me a load of shopping, and he said, "I just want you to have this because I feel for you." And I felt so guilty, because I was like, I've still got money. That's why they won't help me. I've still got savings. That's why they won't help me. But thank you. And it made me feel so special. And that man out there, he knows who he is. And I thank him, you know. But I just think there's so many kind people out there. And I just want everybody to have the faith to just hold their head up high. It's Armed Forces Day. and let's, you know, let's crack this. Let's stand together. Let's get all these other people that we have fought all the time for, to make sure our country is safe and we are free and we can get over anything, you know, and that's it.
Cheryl, it's not often that I'm stuck for words, but I'm really emotional this week. And you're right, there is a lot of people in the group supporting one another, and that's wonderful. But the point is, we shouldn't have to be doing it. We shouldn't have to form that group. We shouldn't have to be running as a not-for-profit organisation. We shouldn't have to, as a team, be now giving up our time for free when actually, you know, we've got families to look after and businesses we need to try and rebuild. But we're fighting on, and we're fighting on for people like you, Cheryl, and everybody else in the group who has been badly treated at this time.
Yeah.
Didn't deserve for this to happen to you. It was no fault of your own. I think it's much, you know, just so much power in what you're saying, because you've contributed so much to the country as well over the years. But indeed, you know, everybody within the group has contributed in their own way as well. And that's what I was trying to get across around being a taxpayer for so many years. And we all now know that we're all going to have to pay for what's happened to the country. And
I know.
We're prepared to do that from an equality point of view, but it really sticks in your gut because you know that you've not actually taken from the system at the time you needed it the most.
Absolutely. Rachel, I mean, I have worked since the age of 16. I have never been on the dole. I've never been unemployed. And at the moment, I don't even know where I am. I'm still self-employed, but I'm not getting paid. I'm not allowed to. It's just bizarre, isn't it? It's just, you know, I paid into the system. I thought they would look after me, but obviously, it's obviously not a good system. I don't know. I have no words for it. I can't even give an explanation anymore.
What the government is still saying is that it's a bit too complicated. It might be open to fraud, and they got
this fraud. Oh my God. Don't get me started on that. I mean, one of our main core things is honesty. I don't even think I could be dishonest. It's not in my veins. It doesn't run through my blood. It just doesn't. It just, oh my God. Anyway, let's move on from that point.
I'm not saying I agree with them. And I think that's what we find so insulting, really. Like, we know that the schemes were put in place really quickly, and we are so happy that so many people have been helped. The schemes have helped amazing amount of people, but the time is now. It's not too late to help the people within the excluded group. The Treasury Committee gave a very clear recommendation, and we want the government to take action. And you know, would you agree with me on that, Cheryl? If this wrong was put right now, would that I know it won't take away what you've suffered in the last few months, but I think
absolutely
value back.
Absolutely, it would replace all the faith that I have lost. You know, I mean, I've never, there's a lot of people that have not been in this position before, because it's a pandemic that we'll probably never, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll never see again. But yeah, I mean, I even if it's just a small gesture, just to say, look, guys, you know, we haven't forgotten you. Here's a little bit. I mean, all they have to do is look to see what we've earned all through our lives. Just give us a small, you know, to help us. That's it. That's all we're asking for. Well, that's all I would ask for.
Well, I'm hearing you saying is as well, it's not just the finances per se, whereas for many people it is. It's a very practical reality now that they have zero income coming into their house at all. It's also the symbolism and what it represents of feeling.
And I've still got my pension, so I feel lucky. I've still got my house. I'm the only one in the house. I don't have children.
Just be really clear though, Cheryl, you earned that pension.
I know, but I still feel lucky that I'm still getting some money, and there's people out there that need the help more than me. But I just want to voice to everybody that, you know, I am a very proud person. I was a very, very strong person, but it's mentally, it's had a massive effect on me. And if it wasn't for my family and my friends here and the group, I don't know what I would have done. But I'm still here. I'm here for Armed Forces Day. And let's hope this time next year, this can, you know, all be rectified. It's all be, you know, everybody will be happy and back to normal. And hopefully the government will listen and help us, help the people that have fallen through the cracks. That's it, you know.
You're amazing, Cheryl. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to have to bring this session to an end really quickly because I'm trying hard not to cry. It's been a very emotional week for all of us, hasn't it? With the Excluded UK group. We've been fighting for a long time now to get these voices heard and to get this problem fixed for the people that have fallen through the cracks. I'm sure if you're watching this, you agree that Cheryl's story is incredibly moving, incredibly powerful, delivered with real passion. I'm just so grateful for you coming on today, Cheryl, and being with me and representing the group, but also representing the veterans within the group on Armed Forces Day.
Thank you, Rachel. Thank you for letting me be part of this. And thank you again for getting this support network started. And it must have been a lot of work, and I commend you. And if I could give you one of my medals, I would give it you.
Yeah, we definitely don't deserve those medals, but thanks for the offer, but you keep them right there on your chest where they belong. And, you know, sending you so much love today, Cheryl. What we say about the Excluded UK group as well is that it's a place where you feel included at a time where you might have felt left outside. So I'm sure everyone in the group is going to be giving you a lot of love tonight. So I'll see you inside there. We love you. We think you're amazing.
Thank you, guys. See you soon. Take care.
Okay, thanks, Cheryl. Bye.